I'm tired. Hey, what's up, guys? It's your girl, Serena Jade here. Insert that generic YouTube opening we all know and love. I don't know what I'm doing. We're going in natural hair day today because I'm gonna be putting on toga later. Because I'm doing TikToks. That's why I also have my toga makeup on. Because, you know, if I'm gonna be putting on makeup for recording things, it's gonna be a I don't even know where I was going with that. I'm tired. This pandemic is excuse me. This pandemic is taking a lot out of me. Like, it's taken a lot out of everyone, I guess. But I do have a story that I want to share with everyone. It's about my grandma. And some people think this is kind of mean, but if you didn't know who my grandma was, like if you've never met my grandmother, it's really difficult to try and summon up her in just one name, right? Like, I can't describe my grandma easily. The closest I can get is kind of like a sassier version of me, which is really kind of hard to do because I'm already sassy. Like, there is not a day I do not go by where I'm not sassing somebody. And if I'm not sassing somebody, the world's gonna end. So yeah, that's like the closest I can actually get to summing my grandmother up. It's like an older version of me, but with more trauma that has not just been worked out. But that's a story for a different time. So I was talking to my childhood best friend, Jordan, the other day, and we're talking about my grandma and just reminiscing because it was my little brother's 21st birthday recently. And we're like, man, time's going by fast, you know? And I brought up one of this particular story in question and how I told it to my manager at work one day, and my manager was like horrified at it, and she was like, yeah, well, if you don't know Patricia, then this would be kind of a horrifying, you know, story. So it starts with me and Jordan. I think we were, I want to say like 11 and 10-ish, somewhere around in that area. And Jordan had decided to come up and visit me for the Christmas vacation. Like, she was allowed to come see me, you know. We'd be old, or we'd be young at that time. And that was also the year I think she wanted to build an igloo, and it was powdery snow. And I was like, Jordan, that's not gonna work. She didn't want to listen. I think she still maintains to this day we would have been able to build a snow, like an igloo, if I had helped. We have these like long-running arguments that we still have, and I kind of actually love them and adore them. Like how she almost crashed my go-kart and nearly killed us several times. She says she didn't, I say she did. Anyways, that's neither here nor there right now. That's a different story. So my grandma was teaching us, my grandma she did a lot of arts and crafts like grandmas do. She did sewing, she did needlepoint, she did beading, she did crocheting, you know. So this particular time she decided to teach us how to crochet. And, you know, we're entertained and everything, and I get done first, and I was like, Grandma, look at my line, because she was like, okay, do a line and let me see it. And she's like, oh, Serena, let me see, let me inspect it. And I was like, okay, Grandma. I naively believed that she had good intentions. You know, even at that age, I should have really known what type of trickster my grandma was, because that's what she was in essence, is a playful trickster. Oh my god, I can sum up my grandmother. She was Loki. Okay, not Loki, but playful and tricky. So I hand her my, you know, strand that I had crocheted, and she just pulls it apart, and she's like, here you go, Serena Jade. You can go do it again. It's like, Grandma, why? She's like, repetition makes perfect. The more you do something, the better you're gonna be at it. And I was just like utterly sad and like morally defeated for a minute. Like I sat there and I was just like, I was betrayed by my grandma. And Jordan's off to the side cackling like she normally does. She's like, that was one thing that would always annoy me as a child, because like I would always seem to be the one who was like on the end of the joke, and Jordan would always be the one manipulating it. Like when we'd play Animal Crossing, she'd put a pitfall in front of my house. Anytime I came out after she had been playing it, it was just there, waiting for me. I still want revenge for that. There's just a lot of things with me and Jordan that I'm like, I will get back one day. She ruined Harry Potter, like, serious dying for me. She sat there and she's like, serious, no. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna still get you back for that, Jordan. Anyways, back to the story. So Jordan finishes up and my grandma comes back. She's like, Pat, look what I did. And my grandma's like, oh, Jordan, let me see that. And Jordan's like, no. Yeah, I'm not trusting you. She's like, no, you're gonna do what you did to you're going to pull mine apart like you did Serena's. And my grandma's like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Jordan's like, yes, you are. I don't trust you. And my grandma was like, no, I promise. She's my granddaughter. And I was like, hey, why does this make me, like, any different? I'm like, Jordan, you have to suffer too. I had mine pulled apart. You have to get yours pulled apart now. Like, that was literally like, yes, good. Pull it apart. So Jordan half-heartedly hands over her line. Like, it's super like, she does not trust my grandmother, which, to be fair, shouldn't trust my grandmother because that woman was insane. So my grandma was like, oh, it's really nice work and everything, and she starts pulling it, and Jordan's like, she grabs the middle and pinches it, and she's like, ha ha, I knew you were gonna do that, Patricia. You betrayed me, Pat. And I was like, you have to have it fully pulled. I think I tried pulling her hand away and be like, no, you have to start over like the rest of us. But yeah, that was like, so like if you heard just that story about my grandma, you'd be like, man, she's mean. And it's just like, no, my grandmother was just like that kind of a playful trickster, you know? And she always taught me that redoing things and continuously doing things will teach you and make you better. So I get comments on my cosplays about how my scenes are so, you know, just so pretty, clean looking, you know? I was like, and people are like, well, how did you get to that point? And I'm like, well, you don't see me sitting there with a seam ripper ripping it up, you know, ripping it apart constantly and redoing it and making sure I have something I'm proud of. My grandmother always taught me, if you're doing something, make sure you're proud of what you're doing, otherwise you're just wasting your effort and time, and that's valuable, you know? One of the other stories, which is kind of along the lines of the crocheting story that Jordan actually brought up when I was talking to her the other day. I had forgotten this story. Like, it had just fluttered out of my mind until she brought it up. So my family had a household down in Glendale, Arizona when I was younger. And it was we're, you know, a Sicilian family. Everybody gathers at the elder's household, basically. And my little brother was there, my grandma and grandpa were there, and then Jordan and I were there. And I think my aunt was there too? Maybe? I don't remember. Anyways, so we're playing with Legos, and we were building walls, and I don't remember what the walls were for, but we were building walls, and Jordan was very, very proud of her wall. And my grandma comes up, She's like, Jordan, let me see this. And Jordan's like, see, Pat. And just takes it. She breaks it apart. She's like, here you go. And Jordan was just like, looked down. She's like, betrayed. Just like betrayal. My grandma was like, you can do it again. And again, you'd think that'd be like you'd think my grandmother was mean. You'd think that she was kind of maniacally evil for doing that to us. But again, like I said, it's just who she was, right? But yeah, it was just those little stories that I sit back and I just think of whenever I'm really sad about, you know, missing my grandma. I would just sit back and think of little things that she did like that, where she was a gigantic troll, you know? She'd come in, troll, and then she'd be like, I love you, and be supportive, and grandma and crap, and I'm trying way too hard to explain this, even though I have stated that it's unexplainable multiple times, and everybody's gonna hate this by now. Anyways, I'm sorry for repeating and rambling on, but you know, I feels like sometimes my rambles are funny, and sometimes you can just fast forward. I'm not gonna blame you if you click off of my video. Please don't. Also, this is to the point of the video where I say like, comment, and subscribe to validate my emotions. Alright guys, make sure to stay safe out in the dangerous world. Okay, we're just gonna stop now because this is getting awkward. Wee woo. I'm super tired, but I told myself I'd do this. And we did it. Alright, don't forget to validate me, because I'm a millennial. I'm a millennial, and I need to be validated by attention online. Serena for Dictator 2020. Bye, guys.